I'm an IT operations and security admin by day, which means I spend most of my time managing invisible systems. But lately, I've been obsessed with a system I can actually touch: 3D printing. I've given myself a challenge. Can I turn a messy workbench and 60 spools of plastics into a profitable side hustle? Welcome to the workshop. I've set myself a bit of a challenge that's a bit outside my comfort zone. I'm attempting to fill a complete booth at Kirppu, which is a local flea market style shop with 100% 3D printed products. The goal is to hit 100 3D printed items on the shelves, but there's a catch. I want to see if I can make a profit while proving that 3D printing is not just for plastic trinkets. I'm currently at the halfway mark with around 50 prints, and the pressure is starting to mount. At my core, I'm an engineer. Ever since I was a kid, I've been the one who have taken things apart just to see how the gears turned or how the circuits were wired. For a long time, my curiosity was about deconstructing the world. But once I got a 3D printer, that flipped. I've been printing for around 5 years, and if you look at my prints, I'm definitely a functional printer. I love the side of the hobby where you design a bracket, a tool holder, or a fix for something around the house. For me, the magic of 3D printing is the versatility. It's a manufacturing plant on my desk. One of my goals with this Kirppu booth is to show people that 3D printers are not just trinket makers. I want to stock things that actually solve problems or organize a home. That said, I'm a realist. To make this challenge financially viable, I need to stock flexies or fidget toys, the things that catch a child's eyes while their parents are looking at my functional designs. Now, instead of just seeing how things work, I can actually make things work. If a part breaks or a tool doesn't exist, I don't have to go looking for it. I can just design and print it myself. The transitions from taking things apart to building them myself is what drives this whole project. Now, you might hear some non-mechanical noises in the background on the video. That's just my two dogs. They are the unofficial quality control here, though they mostly just care if a print is edible, which none of them are. For those who aren't familiar with Kirppu, it's a flea market concept here in Denmark. Essentially, you rent a booth, stock it with items, and the shop handles the sales and security for you. It's the perfect low maintenance storefront for a maker, but it also means that my products have to sell themselves. I won't be there to explain why a 3D printed bracket is better than a cheap plastic one from a big box store. I'm currently 50 prints in, so tonight we are looking at the stockpile, the failures, and the plan for the last 50 prints. Let's get into it. Okay, the first thing I want to do is I want to try and improve the wheel for my Robo Mower. I sometimes run into it getting stuck if the grass is wet and it's just slipping all over the place. So I have taken the wheel of the mower and started to measure what I needed to be able to make a new and improved wheel for the mower. All this is just making sure I get the right measures and double checking that everything is correct. And after I got the measures, then it's time to move over to Fusion and start putting in the measurements I just took and making sure that it looks somewhat like the wheel I took off the mower without being an exact copy. I don't want to make a different rim that I could put on it, so I just make a small cap for it. I'm not the best at Fusion, but I'm trying. I know there are probably wheels out there where I could just grab the model and print it, but by doing so, I would not be allowed to use them for commercial use, which I would definitely call it commercial use, to be selling them at a flea market store. So instead, I decided to design it myself. I went for a way more spiky tire, split in two, than was already on the mower. So by the time I'm done printing it, hopefully I can just mount it to the mower and it will stop sliding all over the lawn. So I'm done modeling almost. I did a few improvements that I won't show on video. And then it's time to get it into Bambu Studio and making it ready for a print. I wanted to improve the strength for it, so I increased the number of walls and did some other minor adjustments before I was able to send it to the printer. And when that's done, then only thing is left is wait for around 8 hours until one of the wheels are done. At least there's only 2 wheels on the model that I have. So I will let this one finish and then I just need another one. Okay, let's look at the stock. These are some house decors. It's saying love in Danish that can stand on a shelf or a table. There's a DeWalt battery holder for 3 batteries, either to fit in a car or a van. There's this wall art saying Hakuna Matata. I found it cute, so I printed one. And then there is this kind of sculpture. It can sit on a wall or a table. There's a mount for it, so it's easy to stand up, lying down. It looks like this, 2 faces. This small dust collector for a drill. And then I have this egg that I made. I found it rather funny to have a surprise inside, which is a nice little middle finger. And I loved the filament. I also printed these 2 sculptures of figurines that can either go as a pair or separate. I printed a few of each. And of course, the Flexi Dragons. This is like a medium, small sized one. And then there's this large one in Cyro. I think it's called Earth Tones. And then there are all the small items like this panda. It's used for a keychain, and the Psyduck, a small skeleton. And Gizmo I found really cute. There's a rose dragon. It's in white and candied red. I also did a Pokeball keychain, a Flexi Octopus, a kind of douchey keychain for those who lift. It says, "Do you even lift, bro?" and then 25 kilos. And I did this cute cat fox-like thing. And all this came at kind of the cost of one of my nozzles clogging up. I tried to do a print in marble, and apparently one of the small stones in the marble was too big for the nozzle, so that's a goner. At least I had a spare one lying around. I have done quite a few of all these keychains, so I decided I needed a display for them. So I also printed this keychain display, which is actually rather big, and it took quite a while to print, but I like it. It's very sturdy. So a short touch on what Kirppu is. This is the website. I've just used the browser to translate it. Basically, you book your stand, then you set your price on your goods, set up your stand. As time passes on, you can follow along in the app how sales are going and restock if you need. And finally, you just get payment to your account. The price for renting a booth at Kirppu is around 35 USD a week, and the intervals are always 1 week. For 1 week, you get 50 price tags. You can always buy extras, but the 50s are included. And when you have your booth at Kirppu, you are also able to have your items shown in their online showroom, which is quite nice. When you want to book a booth, you just go to a website, you choose a city close to you or where you want to book it. This city is the one closest to me. There is around 25,000 living in that city. Here you set your start date, your end date, the duration of your lease of the booth, and then you get your price. 225 Danish is around 35 USD. And here you can see if you want to do 2 weeks, then it will be 70 USD, and I get 100 price tags. So that was basically it for this video. Now I need to figure out what I should be printing for the last prints. Of course I have the wheel for the mower, and then I need to figure out what the rest should be. I hope you liked the video. I know I still have a lot to learn regarding editing the video. I'm mainly doing this just to stick to my challenge and document how it's going along. So I hope you like the video, and it would probably, like everyone else is saying, I should probably say like and subscribe my video, but actually I'm just happy if anyone wants to see it. Maybe you have the same thoughts, or kind of the same thoughts of me about trying to sell prints and get inspired, or maybe I can show you what not to do, whoever knows. We'll have to see how it's going along when I rent the booth at Kirppu. I'm not going to rent the booth before I have all the prints ready, because life might happen and it would not be good to have an empty booth standing for 2 weeks where there's nothing to sell and you're just paying for nothing. That's it for now. I hope I'll see you next time. Bye.